Senior Education Officer, Curriculum and other curriculum officers, partners, sponsors, principals, teachers, specially invited guests, online viewers, ladies and gentlemen. A strong marriage and family remain powerful agents for social change and community strengthening. That's from Denise and Gabriel Charles's A Journey to One. We are gathered here today to witness the marriage of the Ministry of Education, Technological and Vocational Training and Corporate Barbados. One goal, one purpose, to ensure a bright future for every child through this exciting, high-profile initiative, Pontifications and Poetry 2023. The Ministry of Education, Technological and Vocational Training understands the far-reaching benefits of interagency collaboration and this wholesome union with partners, the Caribbean Broadcasting Corporation, Starcom Network Inc., as well as our valued sponsors, is timely. Today I bring you greetings from our Chief Education Officer, Dr. Ramona Archer Bradshaw, who could not join us physically today but has given her full support, heart and passion to this project. And she understands that giving our children a voice promotes self-esteem and self-worth. Giving our children a voice through choice, opinion, feelings and emotions, expression, language and creativity, we know that their lives are enriched and they learn and that they are important and valued. And as I echo the sentiments of Dr. Karen Purvis, giving a child a voice is one of the most powerful tools we can give. And in the absence of our Chief Education Officer, we want to invite our Senior Education Officer Curriculum, Mr. Fernando Carter, and he will give brief remarks. We want to thank you for standing in a gap, Mr. Fernando Carter.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Afternoon and welcome to all sponsors, educators who are here for this very important event. I have no intention of filling in for our eloquent chief. I'm just here to encourage all who are watching up here to value, as Ms. Haynes would have said, the importance of this occasion. As we go about our transformation as a ministry, we need to empower all persons, educators, students, to be the best that they can be. You can't talk about a bright future unless you speak about creating those pathways and structures to make sure that whatever is in it, our students can be identified, developed, and expressed to the full capacity in whatever way. So this pontification and poetry launch is just another aspect of this ministry's attempt during Education Month to ensure excellence in all that we do. I wish you to pay strong attention to this competition as it evolves over the years, because I'm sure Ms. Haynes, even though she's new to the ministry, has brought that energy and vibe and creativity that will make a big difference in the future. And I would like to ensure that you are aware that this will make a difference and that we will go on to higher and higher heights as a Ministry of Education. So I thank you for being here. Sorry for the delay in the absence of the chief, but we are a very active rail ministry where a lot is happening every moment, every time. So thank you for being here. Enjoy the launch. Okay.
Thank you so much, Senior Education Officer Curriculum, Mr. Fernando Carter. And he was thinking on his feet, and that is what being a good speaker is all about. He's one of our orators, and this is what the competition is all about, knowing how to speak. So we want to thank you so much, Mr. Carter. And it is now my task and my pleasure to share with you the competition outline. Pontifications and Poetry 2023 is a competition which is open to all public and private secondary school students, and it seeks to hone or enhance the public speaking skills of our youth, and it affords them the opportunity to use their voice. And one writer said, Ron Brown, if you can speak, you can influence. If you can influence, you can change lives. And the competition is divided into two aspects. The poetry is for our primary school students, ages 9 to 11, and students are asked to upload a video of an original poem on any aspect or issue relating to the selected theme for Education Month, A Bright Future for Every Child. This piece can be humorous, informative, persuasive, narrative, descriptive, or a combination of any, and it must have a title. It must be 1 minute in duration and may be delivered with or without a script, but we're asking our contestants, you do not stick slavishly to that script. And we are looking for the top 15 contestants who will proceed to the finals. We're now on to the prepared speech aspect, or the pontifications aspect. And we're looking for junior school students ages 11 to 14 and senior school students ages 15 to 18. And you will be uploading an original speech on any aspect or issue relating to the selected theme, A Bright Future for Every Child. And again, it's the same kind of dynamic where your speech can be humorous, informative, persuasive, narrative, descriptive. And the interesting thing about this speech is that you do not have to give us the same topic, A Bright Future for Every Child. You speak on that, an aspect of it, so you can speak on anything under the sun. And it must be 2 minutes in duration, and it may be delivered with or without a script. And we're looking for our top 5 juniors and top 5 seniors who will proceed to the finals. And let's look a bit now at what our prizes will look like. And we're just giving you a snapshot of the prizes because these are not all. You are going to leave this competition with your hands full. So for every first place child, you will receive a laptop with a bag or a case, a cash prize of $1,000, a trophy. At the finals, we will hear about all of our sponsors, and you will hear about all of the other things you will glean from this competition. Our second place in each category is a 10-inch tablet with a case and cash prize of $750 and a trophy. The third place is just in the poetry, and you will receive an 8-inch tablet with a case, a cash prize of $500 and a trophy. Now, I just want to reiterate that our prizes in the poetry will be first, second, and third place, but in the speech, we have first and second in junior and first and second in the senior. Now, let's look at some critical timelines. Registration would have opened since September the 18th, and we would have sent circulars out to all of the schools. And because we want to give every child a bright future, and we want to ensure that every child gets an opportunity to be a part of this competition, we have extended our deadline for the closing of registration on Friday, October the 6th, this Friday. And we are opening the floodgates, and we're asking our students to connect with their teachers. We're asking them to connect with their parents, and you can upload your video on or before Monday, October 9th, 2023 at 11:59. But ensure that we are closing registration October 6th. Even though we are closing registration on October 6th, there's a little leeway. You can, there's some of you that may have a little struggle. You can call us, and we're still going to leave it open. We're not going to shut down on you. So we're going to, even though registration closes on October 6th, we're going to give you that little leeway, and you will still be able to register, but you must have your video in on or before Monday, October 9th. And our finals will be held at CBC Studios. Our poetry competition is November the 9th, and our prepared speech or the Pontification segment is November the 10th. And now for some contact information. If you need to contact us, you need to register at mes.gov.bb. You scroll to what's happening and you click on the Pontifications and Poetry 23 competition link. You then email your poems and videos directly to brightfutureatschool.edu.bb or via WeTransfer. And for further clarification, you can contact me, yours truly, Gloria A. Haynes, at ghaines@mes.gov.bb, or you can telephone me at 535-0691, and I've given you my cell phone number. Only use it for this purpose, 241-3076. And Shaman Ali, who is an ally with me, she is going to, her email address is sally@mes.gov.bb, or telephone 535-0857, 245-6000. And we will prefer you, if you are calling us and you can't reach us, that is why we've opened up and given you our cell numbers, and we would allow you to call us because we know how important this competition is to you. So we want to let you know this is Pontifications and Poetry 2023, and we invite all of you to be a part of this exciting competition. At this time, we want to invite one of our partners. We call them our platinum sponsors. They're our partners. And I want to invite CBC Representative Sherwood McCaskey to give his remarks.
Well, thank you very much, Madam Chair. In acknowledging your already established protocol, I say good morning to Mr. Carter, good morning to your fellow education officers, good morning to the sponsors, good morning to all those invited. It's good to be here. Now, Madam Chair, in a world filled with noise and distractions, the art of eloquence and poetry becomes that beacon of clarity. It empowers our children to articulate their dreams, question the status quo, and envision a brighter future for all of us. It reminds us that the simplest words, when properly strung together, can carry profound meaning. It reminds us that a well-crafted verse can touch the deepest corners of our hearts, and that the voices of our youth deserve to be heard, respected, and celebrated. Now, in this, our 60th year, CBC commends the ministry, Madam Chair. Certainly this act of nurturing our young poets is a testament of your dedication to fostering creativity, critical thinking, and self-expression throughout the educational system. Thank you very much, Madam Chair. I recognize your efforts, and I wish to commend you for your continued strides in this direction. I pledge my support to you. More importantly, I pledge the support of the Caribbean Broadcasting Corporation. CBC is prepared to walk with you every step of the way to ensure that this competition, Madam Chair, becomes a reality, not just a reality, but a regular event. I certainly hope that it's not just once a year. I wish you every success with it. Now, as it relates to CBC's direct involvement, the competition, in a sense, reflects the corporation mandate as it aligns with its commitment to cultural promotion, community engagement, education, talent development, content creation, and of course, audience engagement. It demonstrates CBC's dedication to fostering creativity, supporting local talent, and enriching the cultural and educational landscape of our viewerships. It provides that platform where CBC continues to be a cultural hub, providing those intergenerational links that are so important for nation building. I repeat, CBC is honored to be associated with any program that empowers our children to become not just learners, but thinkers not just students, but poets, not just dreamers, but visionaries who can shape the world with their words. Madam Chair, I thank you. I look forward to working with you.
Thank you so much. Sure, Cassidy. And we now invite Mr. Anthony Green from Starcom Network Inc. to share his remarks.
Thank you. How could we say no with Gloria's passion and belief in this? You know, you just had to say yes. So, but it's a fantastic initiative. I also congratulate the Ministry of Education, who is doing a tremendous work by launching these other initiatives that give children opportunity. So congratulations to the ministry. And I also want to, in this forum, say congratulations to CBC. And I'll tell you in a minute, but I have this to say. It seems strange, right? Yeah. No, I want to say congratulations to CBC on celebrating 60 years.
Thank you, my brother.
It's actually a special time in the media space because Nation newspaper is celebrating 50 years. Starcom Network celebrates 90 years next year. And if you look across the region, you realize that there are quite a few media houses that are celebrating milestone anniversaries. But in particular, CBC needs to be lauded for its outstanding contribution to media in Barbados.
Thank you very much.
And we share a space in which we have in common celebrated celebrities who set a high standard of excellence in broadcast, but generally the sharing of information, archiving, and the excellence of presentation is something that we should not take for granted. Congratulations to CBC.
Thank you very much.
And why I make that point is CBC and Starcom Network's traditional broadcasters have always involved the children for a long time and given them a voice. And I always point to Auntie Olga, Children's Party in Studio 3, for example. And last week in another place I asked, how many of you remember Auntie Olga? And many hands went up. And I then realized that many people in here are older than they looked, right? I wouldn't do that this time around. But CBC as well have always involved the children. It's important. So I have this to say about Pontification and poetry in particular. Now, we launched the Spelling Bee, ICBL, they launched the Spelling Bee just last week. The ministry was a part of that too. And I said then that we need to intensify our engagement at various levels and on a variety of subject matters with our nation's children. And I said that because I was thinking it's important to balance their dynamic interaction with the cyber world, with its different impacts and opportunities. And we know that cyber world is not going anywhere. So it requires a different type of preparation and a different level of involvement to help guide and strengthen our children as they explore and achieve, and in turn lead us in this world that is really more theirs than it is ours. Now I go a step further today and say that encouraging our children to express themselves confidently, teaching them to be articulate, impartial, while respecting other views, and to exchange ideas, knowing that they will be heard and can participate in any conversation, is healthy for a thriving democracy. Now, these values align very well with what we do at Starcom Network, and it's just another opportunity to use our platforms to join in the education of our young people. And I'm very proud of what we would have done during COVID with Radio School. We just had summer of reading where we encouraged children to read throughout the summer, and boy, did they read. They actually read when we encouraged them on radio to read. And there is another initiative that pleases me significantly, and that is the Back to School Give Back, where we encourage listeners to bring back to school supplies placed in our barrels at Starcom Network, and we partner with the Thamar Empowerment Network, who are offering free hairdos, hairstyles, hair plaits, and haircuts to children who are less fortunate. They couldn't afford back to school supplies. So that was their way of giving back. They do that every year. And boy, the giving was tremendous. And I'm saying this is a way in which we build this framework to say to our children, education is important. So having said that, a week ago, really happy to be a part of the ICBL Spelling Bee. But then a week later comes the Pontifications and Poetry. And immediately I hear Alfred Pragnell, who was a prolific writer of poetry and plays in Barbados, who is also an outstanding broadcaster at Starcom Network, well, Star Radio and Radio Fusion. Remember that box in the corner that was a part of the furniture that we so fondly remember. And so with these types of initiatives, it continues that trend. I'm looking forward to hearing the children's poetry and their speeches on our 4 radio stations, VOB 92.9 FM, Hot 95.3 FM, Life 97.5 FM, and The Beat 104.1 FM. It's important to us because we feel a sense of responsibility. The surveys say that we have 59% of the listenership market, and therefore that comes with a weight of responsibility to make sure then that we help with transformation and with making sure that we participate in making Barbados a better place. It's not just about people listening to their choice, but it's how do we participate in making this space a better space. And so I want to congratulate the ministry and look forward to hearing the children live, well, not live, but hearing them on our stations. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Anthony. Now we'll now have our screen display of our sponsors. We have Barbados Public Workers, Cooperative Credit Union. We have Bubbles Sports Bar, DC Office People Inc., Exclusive Lighting, ICBL, always there when you need them most, KPMG, Sakal Event Planners, Starcom Network Inc., Promotech, Make It Happen, and CBC, DE Computers, Unlimited. So we want to thank our valued sponsors today. Let's give them a round of applause. And before we go to our 2 platinum sponsors, again, I want to acknowledge the presence of Mr. Michael Clark from DC Office People. Let's welcome Michael Clark. And from CIBC, First Caribbean, we have Sudian Conliffe and Chris Rollins. We now invite Ronald Knight, COO and Director of Insurance Corporation of Barbados Limited, ICBL, to give us some remarks.
Good morning. Thank you, Madam Chair. Protocols have already been established. I will start by saying that having me present after these 2 illustrious presenters, radio and TV presenters, is a challenge, Madam Chair. You ought to put me in the front. I should have gone first. How do I follow such esteemed personalities? I said to Mr. McCaskey when he first came in that I admire not only his presentations, but also I'm admiring the fact that he's actually passing that down to Mr. Joshua Hinkson, who we can see a very close nexus between the 2 of them. So he's actually mentoring him extremely well. So kudos to you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir.
Kudos to you. I also want to congratulate CBC
Thank
on
you.
their 60th. Anthony, I want to congratulate your 50th as well. But also, I also want to put in a plug. ICBL is also celebrating 45 years.
Oh, nice.
So to Anthony's point, you know, we all have celebrations coming up, and we're all participating in what is this wonderful, wonderful exercise. Now, for me personally at ICBL and what we believe in, as you know, last week Anthony said we launched our spelling bee competition. So one of the key tenets that we looked at was how do we also expand that, because that's really predominant for the primary schools. We wanted then to have our footprint into the secondary and wider community. So once we heard of this, and I will give kudos to my head of sales and marketing, Miss Camille Pereira, who's there taking photos. Raise your hand, Camille, so you recognize, because once she heard about this, she jumped and said, well, we need some money. I need to sponsor this, but next year I want to be a bigger player. So CBC, you have that commitment from us in terms of ICBL's participation going forward at the ministry, so you can document that. ICBL is pleased to support the Ministry of Education, Technological and Vocational Training in this initiative, definitely. The poetry and the Pontifications competition for the secondary primary schools actually aligns completely with our efforts and our spelling bee. As I said, we see it as an extension of what we're trying to do, building that groundwork at the spelling bee level, but also being involved now in that nurturing of the children beyond just the primary aspect. We call it our trifecta approach of what we're trying to do in terms of investing in our youth, and as well as we seek to improve the levels of reading, spelling, communicating, not only among the young people, but also society as a whole. Because as you know, we're all getting old, and the younger people will be the future of our country. Our National Junior Spelling Bee competition, like I said, was designed to provide that foundation because we acknowledge the importance of education. Madam Chair, you spoke about ICBL's slogan. I'm thanking you for that, because you put in a plug for us, always there when you need us the most. Education needs us as part of the most, part of our mandate of being an organization where we look for opportunities where we believe we're needed the most. So we are heavily investing in education as well. So thank you for putting in that plug for us. We are always there when you need us the most. Our involvement in this competition, though, provides us with the extension into the secondary level, as I said, in terms of providing support there. But I will also add that at ICBL, we also go beyond that into the tertiary level, because we have a very vibrant and excellent mentorship program for the tertiary children. So every year, we bring in about 12 individuals from various disciplines, whether it be UE, community college, wherever, and we give them an opportunity to work within the organization, and we position them within the disciplines that they're studying, so that they get an appreciation, and they can take that back also to their studies to be able to expand their knowledge. And so we also have that. So we're seeing this trifecta approach. Like I said, junior, now we're getting into the secondary, but you also have the tertiary component of that as well. The theme, a bright future for every child, aptly summarizes really the goals of ICBL. We're comfortable that aligns with us and our educational mandate in terms of what we are going to do in the future. We believe that together we can achieve tremendous success in raising the levels of reading, spelling, and verbal communications. With synergies like these and programs that are being offered by the ministry, it's a timely experience where it's happening in the month of October, which is Education Month. So again, well planned out by the ministry as well. We're therefore all in it for the same reason. We have the same outcomes and expectations. ICBL, obviously, we are pleased to offer one of the first prizes, which is a laptop, $1,000 in cash, and the trophy. But as I said, and I'll repeat it, my head of sales and marketing has committed that we will do more in the future. We believe that in any competition or any hard work, it deserves some level of reward. So what better than to work hard to be competitive for the children, but then you're getting a reward at the end. So we're happy to spend the money where it's most needed. Finally, I wish to acknowledge and commend all stakeholders who have been part of this program, and may its future be long-lived, and that we can contribute collectively And I hope to see more partners as well as this competition goes on in the future. Well done to the Ministry of Education.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Rawknight.
You're welcome.
And now we invite Miss Stacy Motley. She's the Community Relations Officer at the Barbados Public Workers Cooperative Credit Union Limited, or BPWCCUL. Let's applaud.
Thank you. Good morning to everyone. Chief Education Officer, Dr. Ramona Archer Bradshaw in her absence, and represented by Senior Education Officer Curriculum, and other ministry officials, principals, teachers, and other corporate sponsors. Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to say it's an absolute pleasure for me to be here, to be representing Barbados Public Workers Cooperative Credit Union Limited. A bright future for every child. That's the theme for this year, Pontifications and Poetry 2023 and Education Month. Such a focus for this speech and poetry showcase is absolutely a perfect one. An absolute perfect one. And when we saw the theme, we likewise thought that we certainly wanted to support this initiative. And that is why I'm here representing the credit union today. Given all that our nation's children have been through in recent times and continue to go through, this is certainly an initiative that we want to support. We are certainly eager to hear and see the results coming out of the showcase, the speeches, the poetry. I am very excited to see the outcome. And this partnership is really a natural fit for us at the credit union, primarily because of the work that we already do with our young people through our Thrift Club School Savers program, as well as our advocacy for financial literacy for our nation's children. I am even more encouraged by the fact that I recently would have seen in the press that the ministry has some positive intentions of adding financial literacy to the school's curriculum at some point, and I'm absolutely going to champion that cause, that the Barbados Public Workers Credit Union would want to be a part of that initiative. So as an organization with young people at our heart, the time and effort that we apply to this demographic is a true investment for the credit union, an investment in our future, but also an investment in their future. We at Barbados Public Workers Cooperative Credit Union Limited are honored to be a sponsor of Pontifications and Poetry 2023, and I wish to say thank you very much for this opportunity.
Thank you so much, Stacy Motley. And before our penultimate speaker, I just want to reiterate that you can register at mes.gov.bb, scroll to what's happening, click on the competition link, and email your poems and videos directly to brightfuture@school.edu.bb or via WeTransfer. And I want to take this opportunity to acknowledge the media. I didn't get a chance to do that. How could I forget you? But I didn't. They always say leave the best wine for last. You're the best wine today. So I want to acknowledge the media today. And I just want to end by saying, because when when the vote of thanks come, that would be the last person that will be speaking. So I will give Dr. Denise J. Charles the opportunity to speak with you, and she will be the last person you will hear today. So I just want to reiterate, we want you to get on board and ensure a bright future for our future leaders of Barbados. We now invite Dr. Denise J. Charles to move the vote of thanks. She is the chair of the Education Month Committee. Let's welcome her as she comes.
Thank you so much, Madam Chair, Gloria. Let me say how pleased I am to see all of you gathered here this morning for the launch of Pontifications and Poetry 2023, and was so correctly said, this is the inaugural competition, so it will be continuing. And with the Education Month Committee, what we have sought to do this year is to introduce a slew of new initiatives, because there's some staple things that we do every year for Education Month. I don't know how many of you have heard about our lunchtime concerts, which are public concerts that we normally do every year. This year we are having two at the Emerald City Supermarket next week, Wednesday, and the last is the 25th at the Spikestown Esplanade. That's just a plug. But normally we have these staple activities, but this year we sought to introduce some new initiatives, and yesterday we did the launch of the jingle competition. We have this competition being launched today, and next week we're going to launch something called Future Forward Schools Innovation Challenge. Let me begin by thanking Gloria and her very competent team for coming up with this initiative and working so hard to make not only the launch happen, but also the entire competition happen, as I'm sure it will be successfully rolled out, because Gloria is a very hard worker and she has some excellent people. Charmaine is here this morning, she's one of them, and a few others working with her to make it happen. So thank you so much, Gloria, for all the hard work that you have put in to bring it to this point. Excellent. We want to thank this morning all of you for coming, but I want to specifically single out those who have spoken with us this morning. And we've had remarks from Sherwood McCaskey from CBC. We've had remarks from Anthony Green, Starcom Network. We've had remarks from Rawl Knight, ICBL. And we've had remarks from Stacy Motley. Thank you so much for being here, for gracing us with your presence. All of your remarks we endorse as the Ministry of Education. We are very grateful for your commitment to ongoing support of education. It is wonderful to see the corporate responsibility that you've all spoken to, having a sense of being partners in education and understanding the roles that you must continue to play as we all move forward. And I can say, I don't think the Chief would mind me saying that A Bright Future for Every Child is not only the theme for Education Month. This is something that will be ongoing as we see our education transformation initiatives or proposals roll out from tomorrow officially. We also want to thank our Senior Education Officer from the Curriculum Section, Mr. Fernando Carter, for being here. I know our Chief Education Officer would have loved to have been here, but she's very busy, obviously planning for tomorrow's launch, and she could not make it. But we want to thank all of you, our colleagues from the Curriculum Section, Peggy, Sam, then we have Janelle from the ministry as well, and anybody else I am missing, I'm not sure, but thank you so much. Thank you. I think I'm seeing one or two principals. Thank you for coming. We appreciate your presence, and we know that you're going to get behind your students and your parents to ensure that these entries are in. We know we are streaming this live, so I am going to make that appeal as well to principals and to teachers, heads of departments, English teachers, language arts coordinators in the primary schools. Get your students into this competition. It is not just about winning. Winning is excellent, it's important, but it is also about making sure that we develop our students' skills. You know, we're building their confidence, we're building their sense of self-esteem, and we're helping them to be a part of their own bright future. So thank you so much for being here this morning. We wish you a wonderful rest of the day. Thank you all. And the media, thank you as well.